started, the best part about this is this actually doesn't have to take very long. It's super simple. The hardest part is for you to come to terms with who you actually are. Okay, and that may be hard for some of you, so let me just go ahead and get started and kind of tell you what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, so something about being in network marketing or being an influencer or being someone that's going to work from social media, one thing that you're going to have to understand is that people are not buying your product. They're not buying your product, okay? They're not really even buying the results you're showing them. You may get a couple of strangers that buy your product from the results that you show, but they are 110% buying you. I can't tell you the amount of people that have purchased from me that literally follow me for a certain reason, and then because they follow me for a certain reason, after time and time and time again of then seeing my product posts, then they're like, okay, tell me about X, Y, and Z. But if it was not for who I am, what I talk about on social media, they would not even stay around long enough to be hooked by our products and by our business, if that makes sense, okay? Statistics says that people have to see something 19 times before they will even ask you a question about it. Now, here's the deal. When they ask you a question about it, that does not mean that they're going to turn around and purchase it right away, which again, then goes into who are you going to be on social media, okay? So I want you guys to, and here's the thing. I was kind of hoping that we'd have a couple hundred people on this because I think people are missing the mark. But all I know is I'm going to, one, thank you for being on here. I understand we all have other things we could be doing, but there's a lot of things we want to be doing. In order to get to those things we want to do, we do have to sacrifice some time. So I appreciate you being on here. But this is actually going to be kind of like an interactive Zoom. Okay, something we've never done before. We probably could be done in about 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and probably eat up till 10 o'clock, but I'm going to do some like coaching one-on-one with you guys. So first of all, I'm going to have you write down 3 questions. Or if you don't have anything to write with, just like type into your cell phone in your notes section. The first question is, who are you? And some of these are going to be hard for you to answer. I understand that. So who are you? The next one is, what do you love? And don't feel like you have to answer that right now. We'll get there. And the third question is, and probably the most important, okay? The last one is, who do you want to be? Okay, so for the first question, who are you? There's going to be some main things that are probably very easy. You're either a man or a woman, right? Like you have your identity that comes with that. You may be a mom, you may be a dad, you may be a grandma, you may be a grandpa, because I don't know who's going to see these recordings, so I'm talking to everyone. You may be a girl mom, a boy mom, a mixture of both. You may be a dog mom. Like you're going to have the main things of who you are, okay? Maybe you're a student. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to think of 3 things of who you are. And I want you to write those down. And they can be very simple for right now if you're like, I really don't know what to write down. It can be very simple. It can be, I'm a teacher, I'm a nurse, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm a fitness instructor. Like who are you? 3 things. The next thing, when it comes down to what do you love, think of hobbies. So maybe you're into rodeos and horses. Said that for my girl Shauna that I see on here. Maybe you're into Ray Dunn. Maybe you're into decorating. For any of you guys that don't follow Trish Ann, her decorating skills are the bomb. I'm like, hold on, I'm a flyer here. I have some work that needs to be done. Right? So like, what do you love? What literally makes you excited? Like when someone starts talking about something, what kind of like, ooh, I love talking about this. It makes me excited, right? You have something. So write 2 or 3 of those things. For me, when I was little, it was collecting erasers. Yes, I literally collected erasers. Obviously, now that I've grown up, it's not collecting erasers. I have other hobbies. But you have things that make you you. Okay, so 3 of those. Then the most important one, who do you want to be or who do you want to become? This is probably going to be something that you will not answer on this Zoom because you're really going to have to think about it, pray about it, journal about it. You really give that some thought. I can tell you now who I want to be, but it probably took me being in this business, honestly, for about 4 years to find that out. About a year ago, it came to me at a leadership retreat while we were journaling what I'm supposed to be doing, who I'm supposed to become, and what mission I feel like has been placed as my purpose. Okay, so don't feel like if you're like, I don't know who I want to become. You just have to start somewhere. And I'm going to use actually an example of one of the girls. She should be on here. Ashley, our girl, Ashley Arnold, we're actually talking off and on. We talk off and on a lot, actually. And, she was talking about, getting into making soaps and just kind of like looking into doing that. And I'm like, this is huge. This is perfect. And she's like, huh? And I'm like, no, this is perfect. Because here's the deal, guys. Do you want to know who we're not? We are not salespeople. We are not negative Nancy's, and we are not negative Nellies. Okay, those are the 2 things that you do not want anywhere near who you are on social media. And to be honest, you don't want that to be anywhere near who you are in real life either, which is what I'm really excited to talk to you guys about tomorrow's Zoom. We really got to start like not only changing our lives to be successful in this business, but we need to change our lives to be happy in life. Right? And so that's something we'll talk about tomorrow. But when it comes to your social media presence, you do not want to be a salesperson. Okay, so let me show you a couple examples of mine. Now I did this training at one of our green carpets. No, it was called something else. Boot camp, I don't know, it was at Grand Rapids. I spoke on stage with Alyssa and we did like pillars, who we are. And so I'll show you mine. I'm going to see if it's going to let me share my screen. And guys, don't laugh at me because you'd think I would know how to use my computer that was expensive and I have no idea. So I don't know how to change the background picture on my computer. So don't laugh when you see what my background picture is. Okay, can you guys see that? Do you guys see where it says Brittany and then it breaks down into who I am? Rhonda, Rich, you're the only face that I can see. Rhonda, can you see this? Okay, perfect. Sorry. You're the only face I can see. Everyone else has their thing off, so I want to make sure. So when you look at who I am, when I had to think of who I was, now this obviously was done in 2018, so the only one that I would change is I'm currently not keto. But everything else, if you come to my page, this is still 100% of who you're going to see, okay? Number 1 is family. Number 2, and if you need some ideas for right now, you can write these down. Number 2 is my faith. Number 3 is fitness. Number 4 used to be keto and cooking. And number 5 was fun, okay? So here, now I want to take it to the next level. I'm going to show you an example of, let me actually stop my screen sharing. Okay, so hopefully you guys kind of saw. So when you think of Brittany, when you come to my social media page, when you come to my social media, if it does not align with who it is in that area, I do not post it. I want to say maybe twice a year, I will post like a motivational song or video. If something really hits my core, I'll be like, okay, I don't usually do this, but I don't share. I used to call them memes. Are they called like memes? What do you say? It's not memes. I know that. Memes? What are they called? Like everyone makes fun of me for calling it the wrong name. You guys get the point, right? I don't share those. I don't share videos. I don't share other people's posts. Because the thing is you have, raise your hand if you do have your screen on. Does anyone get nervous about posting because you don't want to annoy someone? Like right? You just don't want to annoy someone. Well, here's the good news and here's the bad news. The good news is you aren't annoying people, because the bad news is most of your friends don't see your post anyways. And that's the truth. That's why Tristan and I used to like joke with her, but it was the truth. It's why she was successful. When she first joined this business and she was an RN and she was driving to her job every day, every single morning her post was her with her darn greens. Every single day. I'm not kidding you. Every single day for probably like a year. But here's the thing. Most of her friends weren't seeing those posts anyways. The ones that were, they needed to see the consistency to want to buy in. So if you're worried about your posts being annoying, just know they're not seeing it anyways. Right? So that's why the way I look at it is I'm not going to take up, let me back up. The only reason why I'm on social media as much as I am is to make an impact and to make a living. If it were not for this, I would not post as much on social media. So I'm not going to post anything else that doesn't align with my business and impacting others. Does that make sense? I'm not going to take my quality business time and the time that I'm working my business for something else. So if it does not align with those things, I do not post it. The other thing that I really need everyone to hear me loud and clear, because some people tend to, I think, like they're messing up their algorithm without even like meaning to. Posting back to back every 15 minutes, even every 30 minutes to an hour is not good for your social, like Facebook will make it that your stuff is not seen. So it's very crucial to spread those things out. Okay? So let me show you an example, because this is what we're going to do. When you wrote down who you are, or who are you, will a couple of you, just whatever, start typing in the chat a couple of things that you wrote down about who are you? And when I start see, okay, so I'm going to use Jessica's. So she wrote Christian, wife, mother, ABA therapist, survivor. Okay, perfect. I'm going to use that one. So Jessica, for instance, what you're going to do is you're going to take one of those. So let's just grab mother. Okay, now you're going to take that mother, and you're going to try, if you can, because you could kind of do wife and mother together as family and then break family off. So actually, let's do that. Let's use your word as family, and then the word family, you're going to break that off into 4 to 5 different brackets. Everyone else, you're going to take one of yours and you're going to divide that into 4 or 5 brackets. So let me back up real quick. Raise your hand for those of you that I can see, because I can see it like a bunch of you on the first screen. Raise your hand if sometimes you don't know what to post about. Like if that's one of your issues, you're like, I don't even know what to post about. I don't feel like I have anything else to say. Well, I'm about to rock your world, and I'm about to, what's the word? Maybe call your bluff, because you can't use that excuse anymore after we're done with this. I'm about to give you so much stuff to post about that you're going to be like, oh, I can't wait till tomorrow to get my next post out there, right? And if you don't feel that excited, just don't tell me. Because we're going to fake it till we make it. So let me give you an example. When it comes to my family, let me see if I can find it. Sorry, I have like all of my, okay, perfect. Let me screen share again. Okay, someone, Rhonda, again, I can still see you. Rhonda, shake your head if you can see my family. Okay, perfect. So when it comes to Brittany talking about her family, I have 5 different areas or more that I talk about. I will talk about that I had gone through a divorce. I can talk about that I once was a single mom. I will talk about that we are a blended family. I can talk about that I have kids. and I can talk about that I have a husband. The idea of this, every single bracket of who you say you are. So I'm just going to use Ashley Kunkler as an example, because I noticed that she put on there cancer mama. So what she would do is she would use that. People know that when they come to her page, she's going to talk about her journey, right? So as a cancer mama, she can talk about that she has a little girl, you know, going through this journey. She can talk about specifically leukemia. She can talk about, you know, maybe the hospital stays, the going in and out for the appointments. She's going to be able to take this connect with multiple people. Does that make sense? So for instance, when I make a post about that I have gone through a divorce or that I was a struggling single mom, I'm going to connect to people through those posts that some other people could not connect to them with. Some of you that just have girls, you could almost like be like, I'm the girl mom, and anyone else that is just the girl mom is going to relate to you. Does that make sense? So really think about how your 5 pillars about who you are, and then you're going to divide those, because the idea is if you have 5 different pillars and then you break them into 5 different sections, think about it, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that is 25 different areas or people that you are going to be able to connect to. So let me show you another example. This was okay. So one of my other things is I had used fun as being one of my, now some people may disagree and say I'm not that fun. I think when I get out of my comfort zone, I'm fun. So this is how I feel like I'm fun. That was one of my pillars that I had used, okay? Let me screen share again. Now in this, I've also given you like a picture idea of a post that kind of correlates with how you could show that you are fun, or you could show your face. So let me screen share this again. And I'm just going to assume that it's working. Okay, so here's an example of one of my fun posts. It said, rip it, pour it, melt it. I would like to say that I'm surprised with the feedback that I'm getting, but to be honest, I'm not shocked at all. Energy sticks are amazing. They taste like lemon pixie sticks. But here's the thing. My fun picture caught their attention, so it wasn't just the boring product post with your hand holding up a pixie stick, right? Like, look at the pictures, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but because you don't normally see pictures like this, when you're scrolling on social media, wouldn't that catch your attention? Yes, because you're not used to seeing pictures like this. So for instance, when it comes to me showing the fun part of my life, you're gonna see outtakes of my life. You know, oftentimes you'll see when my daughter was pooping in the tub when she was little. You'll see me with my bed head and my daughter and I twinning with our bed head. I'm not afraid to show the outtakes of my life. I'm not afraid to show not the negative part of my life, but I never feel too important that I can't show people the real and raw, but always turning it into something funny or inspiring. Then I also show my friends. I show the adventures that I go on. I show my family. And then this is a good way that you can make products fun. So I'm going to show you one more example, and then we'll get like more in depth. Let's do, trying to think what else I had. Let's do fitness. This is a good one too. Okay, so when it comes to fitness, I had used confidence. I would make posts about, you know, lack of confidence to now having confidence. I would talk about my certification, and there's a reason why I was showing you this one right now. My before and afters, my products, and new friends. Now, this one I'm really going to get in depth with you, okay? Because this is something I really want you to see. Look at the one where you're saying, who do you want to be? Does anyone have anything written down on who you want to be? Is anyone gutsy enough to type it in the chat or unmute yourself and tell me? Because this is obviously something that you don't feel that you are, but it's something that you want to become. So feel free to type it in the chat if you want to. Okay, you want to empower women. You want to be a strong person. You want to be a better mother, better friend, giver, closer to God. Anyone else want to share? A speaker, youth leader. Okay, these are awesome. Now here's what I want to tell you guys. There's a reason why you're saying that you want to be this, but you clearly feel that you're not this, right? Would you say that some of you are clearly not what you typed out? Let me go back. Looking at some of these, I'm gonna call BS right now, because a lot of you are already these things. You just don't see yourself like that, right? But that's okay. That's okay. And I'm going to use my fitness example as an example how you can take your examples and take people on a journey. How many of you, if I said that you're going to make a post tomorrow or tonight about an area that you lack, is that uncomfortable for you? Right? It probably is uncomfortable to talk about what you feel like you're not. But do you know that there's something inspiring about someone that says, I don't feel like I'm not this, right? I don't feel like I am this. Sorry. When you use those two, don't, like if you use am and not in the same sentence, like cancels each other out. Back up. If you made a post and said, I am not worthy of whatever, or I'm not a happy single mom, or I'm not a X, Y, and Z, right? You clearly are feeling like you're lacking something. But you know what's inspiring to me? Is that in the same post, in the same sentence, you can turn around and say, but I want to be ... And the second that you go all out, the second that you put yourself out there, and for me, do you feel like for any of you out there that social media, to me, sometimes I don't love it, but sometimes I do love it because it's a really good accountability partner? Because you can't say you're going to do something because you know people are they're either watching because they are cheering you on. They do want you to like hit those goals. But then you also got those some people that like, they're gonna snoop, they're gonna watch because they kind of want to watch you fail. And it's not that they want you to fail. It's that they aren't ready to grow themselves, so they're terrified that everyone around them is going to grow. Just know that is all them. That is not them not wanting you to grow, okay? So the second that you put that out on social media, we got to step up our game a little bit, right? For me, and mine is a silly example compared to some of your guys's, because some of your guys's are very deep, and I love that. I just don't have a deep example right now. I probably could tell you like what I'm working towards now, and I'll share that if you guys want me to, but I want to give my fitness example. So in July, it was just 1 year of me teaching fitness classes. 110% honest to goodness truth, the reason why I became a fitness instructor was to grow my business. Selfishly, that was why. Because I don't love meeting new people. I get scared. I love them once I meet them, but it's uncomfortable for me. So I knew becoming a fitness instructor, it put me in front of people, not with It Works being the first thing they saw, so they get to know me first. I knew that I would gain some confidence by becoming a fitness instructor. I knew that I could show the journey of getting the certification, right? I could show that, oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Oh my goodness, I'm going to Baltimore. Oh my goodness, I landed in Baltimore. I literally took people on this journey of me becoming a Kangoo jumps instructor, right? Then, because I did that, it got me before and after pictures. And then it was easy for me to show the products in a non-salesy way because I was just showing them how I incorporate the TFX into my fitness routine, how I take hydrate every time I go to the gym. Does that make sense? And then like the last thing I had written down for my 5, it was confidence, certification, before and afters, products, and new friends. Then it connected me, and I was able to take selfies with my people that were coming to my classes. Killed another jumps class, burned this many calories in 45 minutes. Do you see where I'm getting at with this? In order to become who you want to become, you yourself are going to have to go on a journey. The good news is this is going to benefit you in more ways than one. One of them is going to be because you're going to gain so much more confidence. You're going to be you will if you stick to it, you'll become who God is calling you to be. Okay? The other thing is you're going to grow your business, which is 1 for you and 2 for other people. In order to be successful, you have to impact others. What if, and this is not even a what if, I know it's a for sure, but for some of you, this doesn't feel like a for sure. So I'm going to use the word what if. What if there is someone out there that is extremely suffering? And I mean suffering so bad that they're in depression, that they either can't pay their bills, that they feel like they're alone, that they're overweight and very extremely unhealthy. And I'm not saying being overweight is unhealthy. I'm just saying that oftentimes people need to get their health in check. But what if the only way that they're going to get freedom from the restraints that Satan has on them is if you become who you're supposed to be? Puts a little bit more pressure on you, doesn't it? And that's how we can use this business as a vehicle to change lives. To me, that's all the accountability partner I need to know is that someone will continue to suffer unless I do get out of my own way. And I know it's getting a little deep on this, but I just wanted to touch base on the area when I said, who do you want to be? I really need you to look at that and really figure out what it is, but then stick to it. Because if it's on your heart, you're supposed to be that. If it's on your heart, you're supposed to become that. There is someone else that needs to see that it can be done. And they're probably waiting to see it through you. Okay? So that's that. Now let me go back and say who you are. So is there anyone that feels like they don't know exactly, like you cannot figure out a hobby to save your life? Like you literally cannot figure out a hobby. If you cannot figure it out, if you don't have anything, will you please put it in the chat? And don't just say me. I need to know, I guess I do want you to say me. But start thinking about what are some things you do for fun? When you're not working or when you're not doing something that you don't particularly love, what is it something that you want to do? Okay, so I'm going to use Amanda as an example. Gym and fitness, that used to be her. Now I hardly get to the gym. Amanda, would you mind if I asked you a couple questions? Is that okay? Okay, I'm going to unmute you real quick. Or Trista, can you unmute her? Or Amanda, try to unmute yourself if you can. It's not letting me since.
Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect. Okay, so when you were all about fitness and all into the gym, what is different between when it was versus now that you're not?
I was not comfortable posting pictures of myself at all, but when I started with the business, I posted a full body picture, and I was quitting, I quit sugar a year ago, so let's do this, and I hope you guys will take the journey with me. And I really haven't gotten back to the gym.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of nervous to post my body again, even though I know, just like you said, accountability.
Mhm.
I've got to do that.
So let me ask you this. What do you think's kept you from going to the gym?
To be 100%
Yeah.
honest, it's like personal, like a breakup.
Okay.
I'm the mother of an autistic daughter,
Okay.
and I live about 8 hours away from any like real life friends or family. So basically, between like work and then trying to work this business, I can't really make it into the gym.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you a goal. Okay. And I'm going to check in with you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Get on Pinterest.
Got it.
Find some home workouts. Every day for 2 weeks, I want you working out at home. Here's the deal. Do you know that will actually connect with more people by you showing them through social media how to work out at home than you going to a gym every day? Because most people, even though it's an excuse, I used to live it too. I got it when I was a single mom working full time. I'll be honest, it was like a guilt trip. And I love my mom to pieces, but because she doesn't live the gym life, when I would work all day long and it was time for me to come pick up Ty, the last thing she really wanted me to do is say, hey, I'm headed to the gym. She's like, no, come take care of your child. You've not been with him all day, right? She was doing it out of love. So I remember being the person that didn't get to the gym either. So what I would tell you is there are more people out there that are living that life than you think.
Yeah.
You will probably be able to connect and inspire people more that way.
I have taken a few steps where I've bought some of those bands, resistance bands, and I've bought like a bar and some weights, and I do have that here at home.
Yep, I think that's your answer right there.
So I need to utilize and target more people that don't have enough time to get to the gym.
Yep.
Okay.
Because here's what you're going to find. You stay consistent. I've seen your posts. You're good at this business. You stay consistent. You do what you know you need to be doing. Because here's the thing, guys, doing this business, it's like the tasks are so easy, but it's not easy when it's an option. And the thing is, this business is an option to most people, right? Because you kind of have to do everything else first. I just didn't let it be an option, which is why I got where I got. But here's the thing, you're going to take people on a journey. And maybe your post is, you know what, I'm sick and tired of not following through on what I say. But I also know reality is I'm not getting to the gym. So I had to find a way to not allow my excuses to keep me from my results. So here's my plan right now. Maybe down the road it will change, but right now this is what I'm working with. And I would love to help anyone else that feels like they can't get where they want to get to because of some roadblocks that are standing in their way.
And I feel like you just like answered what I need to target, or like what I have been wanting to target. Yeah. You just put it into words.
Yep.
That's like my audience, like right there.
Yep.
And I have that audience. I'm just, I haven't been giving them that.
Yep. And there you go. And then what you're going to find is by being consistent, people are going to follow you for your accountability, for your workout ideas, for your results. In that, you can show your products as well.
Yes.
In that, builds relationships with people, and then you can probably save them with this business as well. You save enough people.
That is true.
Yeah.
I take our products, I use them daily, and I have been able to maintain, but I want to get better and show them that they can get better.
Yep. And then here's the deal. As you do this thing and as you build more relationships, you build your business. As you build your business, you get more free time. As you get your free time, then your success story is you were able to make time for the gym.
Yeah.
But you're going to take them on this entire journey. Thank you so much for letting me use you as an example, but I'm going to check in about 2 weeks, so stay tuned.
Okay. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're going to have to mute yourself, though, because I can't mute it on my end. Okay, so do you guys see, those of you that are probably thinking like, oh, I don't know what this looks like. Do you see how I took Amanda's situation and just connected her to a world full of people that are sitting in her same situation? Does that make sense? That is how you work this business. Guys, we are here to help other people. In order to help other people, you have to meet a need of theirs. For me, when it comes to my posts, sometimes my fun posts are to meet their need to make them laugh for the day. Sometimes with my fitness posts, my need for them is to show them that a girl that used to be shy, that would have never taught a fitness class. Guys, even doing this, I'm all red and blotchy. Guys, I've been doing this for 5 years. Why am I still getting all red and worked up? Because I still get nervous. But being able to, you'd be surprised how many messages on social media that I've gotten, not about It Works products, but they really ask, how can I get certified in what you do? I'd love to bring Kangoo jumps to my state. People are watching. Okay. So we have your 5 pillars, right? So for me, so here are mine. Mine are what I talked about. The only one that I've replaced, like obviously I'm still into fitness. I still have my family. I still have my faith. The new one for me is I am 100% on like I know my purpose now. It's extremely clear. I thought I had it a year ago, but I've kind of been in, out with all the self-doubt like we all have. I 100% know my purpose. My purpose is I do not like negativity. Those of you that work well, like work side by side with me, know this about me. And I was trying to change that gift about myself because I felt bad for being a little rough, right? For being a little forward. What I realized, and especially it was locked in at this conference, is no. I need to be thankful I am this way. God created me to be this way. To instead of being one that sits in the junk with them, says, okay, I'm sorry you're struggling, but let's go. Let's fix it. Right? And so now I'm extremely clear in who I am. Now, are there some things, and guys, I've not shared this with anyone at all. There are some things I'm working on. A year ago, I was at a leadership retreat with Alyssa. As we're journaling at this winery, I wrote down, it came to me, I was supposed to be writing a book. Even the title of the book came to me. It was called Become Her Anyway. I looked at Alyssa and I was like, I don't even know where to put periods in a sentence. Christy Reedy probably looks at my posts as like, oh my gosh, Brittany, why do you put 100 ... Well, I put ... because I'm not for sure why I'm supposed to put a comma or a period, so I'm just going to put a bunch of dots. I just had to call
Stop
you
it, I do not.
But I kept thinking, and here's the deal. Because I have all those self-doubts about myself, I've been putting this book off. What's crazy is while I'm driving, stories about my past will come to me and be like, this happened to you because this is how you're going to connect to people. And this is why you were supposed to do this, because you're supposed to become her anyway. Does that make sense? And I'm just showing you guys this as an example that it doesn't matter how long you're in. You always need one of those pillars to be about who you're trying to become. Because quite frankly, do you want to know what's not relatable, unfortunately, in this business or in life? What's not relatable is when you seem really good at what you do. Does that make sense? Because the second that you seem too good at it, people think they couldn't do it because they're not good enough at it. They're not as good as you are. So you constantly have to have one of those pillars that's like, there's a little struggle for you too, but with the struggle comes your fight. And I'm going to use Ashley Kunkler again as an example. Man, she took me through a ringer. And actually because of her, I'm going full keto because watching her, like she said, she wants to be a finisher, but having her show her vulnerability on her social media page, guys, people started watching because they wanted to see the results she was getting, right? If she came out the door and was like, listen, this is easy, I don't struggle, this is how you do it, people aren't attracted to that. Now, I'm not saying that you want your post to be like, oh, I'm broken, oh, I'm depressed. No, they don't want to see that either. The world has enough of that. But they want you to see like, this is an area that I'm struggling in, but this is where I want to go. So I do want you to 100%, while you're working on your 5 pillars, I want you to make one of those who you want to become. okay? Here's the other thing. With your other posts, whether it's, now here's what I'm going to contradict myself a little bit. We've been doing a little more of the posts that say, if you lost 10 pounds a month, how many months would it make for you to hit your goal? Those are fine posts, okay? So we're still going to be doing some of those. If you had $500 for Christmas, what would you spend it on? Those are fine, but they're not fine every single day, all day long. That is salesy, okay? And let's be honest, we're making those posts to make a sale, right? So it's not like we're not hiding our game here. We're doing it for a reason. I think where some people miss the mark, and it's not that we're missing the mark on purpose, it's just part of like getting comfortable with this business. When you go to make a post, I want you to ask yourself a question. Will this make someone feel something? Will it make them laugh? Will it make them cry? Will it make them feel convicted? Will it make them feel inspired? Will it make them feel like they want to drink the Kool-Aid too? If you don't think it's going to make someone feel something, like how many of you, and raise your hand, be honest, like I'll even raise my hand too, how many of you have made a post before just to make a post so you could say that you got your 2 or 3 posts in for the day, right? We're all guilty. We've all done it. I've done it. That will not grow your business. 100%. It will not grow your business. It may let your team know that like, hey, I'm still here, but it will not grow your business. So what I want you to do is I even would like you to step back and really kind of think into who you are. Now here, the good news is now that you should have 5 pillars, and then those pillars should break out into 5 different areas, you should have tons of content who you're going to connect with. Is anyone want to, I'm trying to think, does anyone, so someone actually said something, and I'm going to see if she's on here. She may not be able to undo her camera. Harsha, did you put on here that you want to be confident? What did you say? So I'm going to be honest, I'm mind blown with that one. Mind blown. So you do a really good job of like not, because I'm like, oh, I want that. Like I want the Kool-Aid she's drinking. So first of all, we're going to have to talk about that later. See, everyone's like, what is going on? Okay, is there anyone, okay, so pretty much for like the pillars, that's how it works. Does a pillars idea make sense? You are branding yourself, who you are, what you're into, and who you want to become. If it doesn't fit into those pillars, we don't post about it. Here's the last thing that I wanted to talk about, and then if Trista wants to stop recording, she can in a second, or she can record it, and I'm just going to kind of like help those that need one-on-one help. With those, here's the fun part. Do you want to know how to see the most success in this business? 100%. You see your pillars? You see your branches? So I just gave you 25 areas, hopefully, okay? That's where the business fits in. That's where the products fit in. They're not separate from your pillars. It's not, oh, I'm at Works in this post, and then it's like, oh, but I'm a Christian and I go to church. Do you want to know how I fit sometimes my post going to church? It's the selfie of the family with my cups of coffee. It's not salesy, but guess what? And I didn't have to say it. It's literally just Matt and I in a picture with our coffee. Oh, so Brittany actually drinks it every day? It's seeing it every single, does that make sense? I know it's a super, super cheesy example. You've got to get to a point where who you are and this business become one. Then posting becomes extremely easy. I'll be honest, I actually have to hold myself back from talking about this business so much. People will be like, does Brittany even have a life? Well, yeah, It works. But that's how much I enjoy it. It's literally every pillar, it fits right in. So is there anyone that, first of all, has any questions about this? So you're going to just remember your posts are going to tell a story. That does not mean they have to be all long. Some are going to be super, super, super short. Okay. And then you need to connect to people. So if it's not going to make people feel something, I probably wouldn't put it out there. Because really it's just a waste of your time. If anyone has any questions, first of all, put it in the chat for me. Okay, if no one has any questions, the next thing I want to ask is anyone struggling still coming up with, kind of like I did with Amanda, I showed her who she wants to become, what that connector is between those. Does everyone understand what you're saying? Okay, so Ashley had a good point. She said, does everyone understand what you're saying when you say making your post feel something? For instance, it has to hit a nerve with them. So for instance, when you make a post about how your skinny coffee is, like for me, a lot of times my skinny coffee, I'm always talking about the convenience. And a lot of times what I used to talk to, I actually need to talk about it more, is this is what Brittany would do. Brittany either would not eat or she hit Hardee's drive-thru every single day. Every day. Right? And then I felt miserable. So for me, your post has to connect to someone. So for instance, when I would talk about coffee, I could literally talk about how, I don't know about you, but without this, I would end up in the fast food drive-thru before work every single day. There are going to be people that will read that post that will be like, excuse my language, shit, I just went through McDonald's this morning. And they're going to feel convicted like, oh, I don't want to feel that. Do you see how a simple post about coffee made them feel a sort of way that they don't want to feel? Unfortunately, to promote a product, you want to hear what's crazy? You have to hit a pain point. And that's what's weird. Until the pain is enough, people won't do anything about it, which is actually what we're going to talk about tomorrow, about like life in general. Any tips for newbies? Okay, absolutely. So still, this is perfect for newbies and everyone. You need to find out who you are. Then my next question would be like, as a newbie, are you using the products? If you're not, it's going to be hard because your posts are going to be extremely salesy. Now, doesn't mean you have to use a bunch of them, but you're going to have to at least find something you like to use consistently. Because see, here's the thing. This is a silly example. Like, for instance, my dad, it was a big fan of the Relief. I've never used the Relief. I have no need for the Relief. I'm a huge fan of the coffee. He doesn't use the coffee. He's not a fan of, well, he's not even tried it. He's not a fan of coffee. But we can be at Anita's Diner in our hometown, and I can hear him say, oh, so you like coffee? My daughter sells some coffee like that. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but he can promote it because he knows that he sees his daughter drink it all the time. I can talk about Relief because I believe in the coffee. Does that make sense? Because I stand behind at least one thing we offer, I can stand behind them all. So in order for a newbie to feel confident in this until you get your own results, you got to find something you like. So that's my biggest tip. Okay, Erica, do you want to unmute yourself? Okay, she said no. So she's clearly not having too much trouble finding those 5 pillars because she doesn't want to unmute yourself. Well, homegirl, I can't help you through messenger chat. So not for sure how we're going to work this one out. Maybe send me a private message and I can look through your Facebook page. Anyone else while she's going to the other room? Shake your head if this kind of makes sense for the ones I can see. Okay. So here's what I really need you to do. If you've been in this business a while, it's time to take this to the next level. It's time to find a new way that you want to connect to people. For instance, I'm going to bring up Ashley Arnold again. That was like when she told me that she was thinking about looking into soaps, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. I think she looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, no, this is perfect. People don't want to hear about it works. But everyone loves to hear about like the side stuff, the shirts, the jewelry, the soap. Does that make sense? Like all that other stuff that's not like MLM. She's going to meet so many new people from doing that. And then once they get to know her, they're going to fall in love with her because she's easy to love. And then once they see what she does for a living, then they're going to be interested in this. So that's my main thing to you is find out the next level of you if you've been in a while. If you've not been in a while, this should be simple. Pick a new hobby and run after it. But show the entire adventure. There's your sales point. And this is not to sound judgmental, but I really want you guys to hear me. I was excited when I had another baby and put on weight again because I knew I had another story to tell. Sometimes I'll have people join me in this business and they'll say, I don't know if I'm going to be successful because I'm overweight. Literally, I've had people say, I want to do what you do, but I'm afraid to be successful because I'm overweight. And I asked them this question, can I be honest with you? And I said, I don't even mean to sound this the way it's going to come out, but I'm going to say it because I feel like I need to be honest with you. You have more of an impactful story than I have. You can take them on a journey that I can't take them on. Can you imagine if some of you would actually stick to your goals and show a transformation? Not only change your life, but end up changing other people's in the midst of it. It's the same conversation I had with my mom. October was 2 years ago when we went keto together. She dropped like 35 pounds. Like, Mom, the reason why you're struggling selling these products is because yes, you're using them, but you're not using them consistently, and you know you're not a walking billboard. So there comes your self-doubt. Does that make sense? There are journeys that every single one of you could take someone on. I'm just using that one example as an example. There's the place you are. There's the journey, the struggles, the ups and downs. You show all those. If you're having a good day, you show it. If you're having a bad day, you show it. But your bad days, you don't say, blah, 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 I want to have a pity party. You say, you know what? It's so funny. I had a really good day yesterday. Wouldn't you know I'm having a bad day today? Satan doesn't like when you're on a high. He tried to knock me down, but it's not going to hold me down. I'm going to get back up tomorrow. That's an inspiring negative post. Make sense? Erica, I think I can hear you now. Okay, so give me a little bit about yourself. Like what do you do? Where do you live? Like give me some examples.
I live in Marion,
Okay.
in Indiana. I work part-time at the Dollar General.
Okay.
I started a new job today being a school crossing guard.
Okay.
I have 3 kids. My daughter just had hip surgery last Monday. My son is having health issues too. My youngest one is the healthiest one. And that's pretty much it right now. Well,
Okay.
I'm a wife too, but.
What was that last thing?
I'm a wife also.
Okay.
Married.
What also, like, if money was of abundance and you were not working 2 jobs and felt a little overwhelmed, what are some things that you like or enjoy?
When I make time for myself, if I actually stick to it, I like gardening.
What is it? Oh, gardening?
Yeah.
What else? Anything else?
When I was younger, I used to read a lot.
Read?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 pillars about you already. You have work. That's 2 jobs. Okay. You're already going to connect to people that I can't connect to. Right? So your posts are, Why you said yes to this is maybe you're sick and tired of working 2 jobs. When you go to write your story, everyone, here's how this works. You have a before, you have a current, and you have a future. This is how this looks. Before I said yes to It Works, I was kind of in the struggle of blah, blah, blah. But I knew if I wanted to change, I had to say yes. So this is where I'm at right now. And if you're brand new, that's okay, right? Where I'm at right now is I'm just proud of myself for saying yes. I'm proud of myself for staying consistent, and I can't wait to see the results that I'm going to see. But one day I'm going to blah, blah, blah. My story looks exactly like your guys's do. My words are just different, right? So my story looks a little like of, this is why I said yes. This is what I've been able to do. But now actually seeing what life looks like, this means nothing. There's so many more people that need me to keep going and to reach those next levels. We all have those no matter where you're at. Okay? So, real funny story real quick, and some of you that do this full time at home, you probably can relate to this. Erica, you're going to relate to people where I can't, because if you can show them that this can be done as a busy mom and wife and have 2 jobs, they're going to see they can do it too. Do you want to know that I hear all the time, I would love to do what you do, but I can't because I'm not home all day like you are? Now, the funny part is they don't know how busy I actually am, but in their mind, they think I'm home eating Cheetos. So you can connect to people that I can't. So you have already one pillar right there. Now, take that pillar of work and you got to divide it. Okay, so one's working as a crossing guard. Maybe some of your posts are that you are doing this one for the extra money. Is it at your children's school?
It's at one of them.
Okay, so like that's another story, is that, you know, you get to do it and see them. You get to be with them. If you're going to pick up an extra job, why not let it be something that you can actually be part of their school? There are stories within your story. Do you see that? Then you have 3
Yes.
kids. Are your kids into anything?
Sports.
Okay, perfect. What kind of sports?
Baseball, volleyball, wrestling, basketball, soccer.
Okay, well, there's 50 There's 50 pillars. There's 50 pillars right there. Like, you just connected to so many more people. And then with your gardening and your reading, I don't garden, but there are people out there that do. And like, when it comes time to garden, show the whole thing. Does that make sense? You're going to take them on the, bear with me when I try to make a gardening analogy. I can't even keep mums alive that were put in a pot for me, so just bear with me here. I'm assuming that gardening has something about putting seeds in the ground, correct? Like, your type of gardening is putting the seed in the ground?
Yeah, I start most of my own plants.
Okay, see, guys, if I can do this business, any of you guys can do this business. But you get the idea, right? So, like, when it comes time to start gardening again, you literally have an entire journey to take them on. I'm excited. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm planning this year. As they start to grow, it's crazy. Only a few weeks in, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then like your interaction posts when it comes to reading. Oh my goodness. I used to be such a reader. I've kind of put reader on the back burner because life gets busy and life gets hectic, but it's such a passion of mine. What are some books that you recommend? I'm looking at adding them as podcasts and listening to them on my way to work or on my drive or on my lunch breaks. Not only will you have people that people just want to have conversation. People will want to tell you every book they've read. People also then then they'll connect to you if they're into podcasts. Do you see how you 100% have a story and you 100% have who you are?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you have your thing about who you want to become, or are you still kind of questioning that?
I'm still kind of questioning it, but I know one thing I really want to be is more confident because I have really bad anxiety. That's why whenever you asked if I wanted to mute myself, I was like, no. But I know I have to step out of my comfort zone. So whenever I get the chance, I try to do vendor events, just to push myself a little bit more.
Absolutely. I love that. And I had a feeling that the reason why you didn't want to unmute yourself was because you were a little bit nervous. But I kind of knew that if I nicely, not so nicely said, all right, I can't help you then, that you'd be like, well, no, I want your help. I want your help. And I think that's the thing is, here's the thing. There are tons of people that are in your situation right now. Do you know what's inspiring to me versus inspiring to all them that aren't like leaving their comfort zone is that you did. So do you know that I'm going to give you a post that you can make tonight? And that is, guys, I have anxiety and I rarely leave my comfort zone. And I just got on a Zoom in front of 53 people and poured my heart out and asked for help. And I'm super excited where this is going. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So those are the journeys you're going to take people on. You have to show them every part of this. All right. Anyone else have any questions or anything that you need help with? Any ideas? If you want me, you got me.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so I've only been on the last 20 minutes, but
Yeah.
I think I missed the formula for finding out and talking about who you want to become. How do you get to that?
Okay, so it was you to write down who you are, what do you love, and what do you want to be.
Okay.
And then what it is that that's how you're going to find your pillars. Because I think one of the things that, and stop me if you heard this part, because I don't want to repeat it for everybody else.
Right.
Did you hear the part where some people, they can't relate to someone that already looks confident in that area?
Right, yes. I heard
Okay.
that. I heard you say that.
So that's why, and I feel like for yours, I feel like I knew what that was because you just said it 2 months ago to me. Right? You were taking a certification and taking the next step.
Yeah. But
So,
I'm not sharing that with a lot of people. So.
No, and that's what I'm saying is, and that's why I'm not sharing it everywhere,
Right.
But you have to decide if you're going to share that or what is something like that you can share.
Right, okay, yeah.
Because you got to get to a point where they see you leaving your comfort zone, but then you also have to make sure you take them through that entire journey because that's where the connection, that's where they're going to be inspired, that's where you're going to build your relationship with them.
Right.
And earlier, I think, I don't know if you were on or not, but I used the example of me becoming a fitness instructor.
Okay.
I don't know if you were on for that part.
I didn't. I missed that, yeah.
Going in from I never thought I would do it to flying to Baltimore, I took everyone on this entire journey, and it connected me to a whole nother bunch of people because they weren't interested in me and it works, but they're interested in me in fitness instructing, and guess what? Now most of my customers are from my fitness community. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was what that was about.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Trista, feel free if you want to stop the recording, you can, or if you feel like there would be some, if people would like to watch this part of it, you can keep it going and we'll just have to tell them that if they don't want to keep watching the end, they don't have to. Okay, Nicole, if you want to unmute yourself. And for anyone that feels like they need to hop off, I know it's 10 after 10, so if you need to get off, you can get off. But I'm here to help if you want help. So Nicole, if you unmuted yourself, you can start talking. So because I know a lot of your guys' faces through social media, but I apologize. I don't know all of your stories.
Okay. Hi, I unmuted it.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about yourself though, so I can
So, well, that's kind of where I'm stuck at.
Okay, so okay, well, you can at least tell me who you are, what you do. You know what I mean? At least tell me the basics.
Okay. Well, I'm a retail manager.
Okay, where do you work at? At where?
The Connorsville Walmart.
Okay. How much do you work?
Sorry.
No, you're good. How much do you work?
It's full time. It's usually about 55 hours a week.
Married, kids, anything like that?
Recently alone.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I'm stuck or where I'm stuck at. There's been very drastic changes in the last week.
Okay.
And I had a game plan for this business, and then I just got totally knocked on my feet. And I just feel like I don't know where to go from here.
So let me speak a little life into you for a second. You're going to look back, and let me tell you a little bit about my story, and I'll make it quick because a lot of you have heard this. So absolutely love my son's father and wife now, but we had a very rough go around. I actually kind of found out I was getting divorced in the hospital when I had my son. So had my son on Tuesday night. Wednesday, he went and filed for divorce. Okay.
Wow.
At the time, I would have told you for 3 years, I was in extreme depression. I mean, it was bad. Okay. Now looking back, I will tell you that's the best thing that ever happened to me. And the most crazy part about it is, if you said, what is your favorite part of your life? It's that. Because without that, I wouldn't have had to almost like bear myself of all of like, see, a few weeks ago or whatever, before right now you feel alone, you had very much certainty in your life. You thought you had a way. But see, that probably wasn't the way you were supposed to go.
Right.
So now is to figure out, what do you want? And it's not gonna happen in this Zoom right now in front of 57 people, right?
Right.
You're gonna have to do that on your own, but this will end up being part of your story. And if you are brave enough to show that, maybe that's how you're going to start connecting to people is, you know what, I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I knew exactly what I was doing, exactly where I was headed, and the rug was pulled out from under me. But I know that this can make me or this can break me, and I will not let it break me. So I'm going to make the best of the situation. And here's how I'm doing this. I'm surrounding myself with like-minded people that are tired of settling for nothing. And that's why I'm doing this business. I have a community that tells me I can do it, and I'm excited to see who joins me. Through that, I have a feeling you're going to find out, one, where you want to go, and who you want to become. Now, please, surely, even in all that mess, surely you do have things that make you happy or smile or interest, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what would those be?
Well, I really want to start I'm sorry, I'm like stumbling over my words. I want to get back into painting and start painting again. That was something I used to do with my grandpa, and after he passed away, I just stopped. And so that's something that's been weighing on me pretty heavy lately, is getting back into that.
I love that. And the thing is that, is there any other ones that you can think off the top of your head before I get started talking? Like anything that that it's your passion? Or that you love to do?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. So painting's going to be a good way to, just once again, one, I would suggest you start doing it because it's going to bring you internal, happiness and peace. I love art. So I find it to be calming, therapeutic. So I would highly recommend doing that anyways, aside from business and making an extra income. But through that, once again, is a story to tell. So there's another example. You know what's crazy? I've not picked up a painting brush in a long time after I lost my grandpa. It was too hard to do, so I just put it on the back burner. But in the phase of life that I'm in, I'm realizing I'm having to change some things and put myself first. So here goes nothing. And maybe it's just a simple picture. Maybe it's a simple picture of just your canvas or whatever you're choosing to paint on and all of the products that you need. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then you take them through this journey. Through that, I think you'll find healing, but you'll be surprised at who you connect to.
Sorry, I'm writing that down.
No, it's fine. Absolutely. So I would start there. But you have to do a lot of, okay, so here's my next question for all of you, so I can speak to all of you. But I'm going to ask you specifically, since you're unmuted and I can ask you, do you truly do self-development every day?
No, I don't.
No, you're good. So let me tell all of you guys, and if you don't get anything from me, and this is the hardest part, you're taking your products, posting on social media, adding friends on social media, doing all those things will not matter if your mind is weak. But here's what I want you to understand. Having a weak mind doesn't mean you're weak. And that's where I think people are getting it twisted. We are actually extremely strong. We've just been conditioned to feel extremely weak. And and here's what I also want to tell you. You guys may be listening to me thinking, oh my gosh, she seems so confident. I feel like her life's perfect. No, my life's not perfect. And I would go through some of my junk right now, but my kids may be listening. So I don't know if my son's in bed. I don't want to spill all of the junk right now. But what I can tell you is without truly taking care of my mind and doing self-development, the products wouldn't help. The posting wouldn't help. The money wouldn't help. So if anyone is going to do one thing for your business, I need you to do the self-development. And if you don't have time to read, that's okay. I don't really like to read, so I do podcasts. So I listen to it in the car. But you've got to add that. Because here's the thing. Some of you may be feeling really good right now after this Zoom. Oh, I'm feeling inspired. I feel good. I'm going to change the world. And then tomorrow, the world's going to try to change you. And if you're not doing self-development, you're going to feel defeated. Anyone else have anything they want me to go through? And Jennifer, so Jennifer made a comment. She said, Brittany, you make it sound so easy. I'm not for sure what part you're talking about. I don't know if it's just posting or what to say or looking as an obstacle, whatever. I can say I genuinely feel like it is easy, but it's only because I speak from the heart. So I don't feel and that's what, when I post, even though some of them are as deep, I'm still speaking from the heart. Even if it's as simple, taking Ty to school today, here's my skinny coffee, super excited, and he's drinking his chocolate greens, blah, blah, blah. Even though that's cheesy, it still comes from my heart. And I think once you make that switch, you will find that too. And figuring out how to grow will come through self-development. And also just surrounding yourself with people that are kind of showing you the way. Anyone else have any other questions before we hop off here? Tomorrow night, it won't go so long because I have notes kind of figured out. And obviously tonight wouldn't have gone over, but we kind of did a little bit of coaching. But I wanted to show you guys how you may feel like you have nothing, but honestly, you have so much to offer. And someone's waiting for you to offer that. Had I not gone through what I went through, I wouldn't be able to coach people in those areas of divorce and having to share time and all of that junk that is not fun. And so what I will tell you now is the struggles that I'm facing now, I don't love them. I don't like them, but I'm all right, I can't change that this stuff's happening. So I can change how I use it for my power. So it doesn't have power over me. And I think, okay, so how long should your post be? Is there a limit? I would say it just depends on what it is, but you have to make sure the posts are all long or all short. I try not to get too deep too often, but if you're going to come out and say, listen, I have a struggle, here's what I do. Whenever I want them to really read, I put my first sentence or my first little couple words in bold or capital and say, okay, I need to be honest with you, or listen up, I'm kind of embarrassed, or okay, time to be honest, or I failed myself, but not anymore. Does that make sense? And then I like hit enter twice, and then I pour my heart out, because the first sentence will like catch them. Jennifer, will you unmute yourself? You said, I guess I just don't feel genuine. Will you unmute yourself? Can you please? Okay, so when you say, I saw you unmute yourself. So when you say you don't feel genuine, is it about the business?
I don't know if it's about the business or if it's just about life.
So explain just a little bit.
Well, I mean, I love to listen to you because I'm in a similar situation. I'm a single mom too. I work full time. I'm trying to get this business off the ground, and just, I feel like I want to take all the products, and I'm taking a lot of products, but then it's like I have to stop because financially I can't afford them. And so then that puts me at a,
Like you
a
feel
stall.
posting about something if you're not using it and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Okay. So here's what I want to do. I need you to give a goal for yourself. And that is to use at least one product.
Okay.
Okay. And if you could even just keep a couple customers active under you, that will pay for one product. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That will take the lies in your mind that you're not genuine about the products. That will also get you results, because you won't get results in and out, in and out, in and out. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand it's your situation. I get that. But you also have to look at it for what it is and say, okay, if I can't do all this, but doing nothing's not an option either, because I'll never get where I want to go. So where's a happy medium here? And for me, a happy medium is one or two products.
Okay.
Right? And so for me, and I don't know your situation, I'm just speaking over mine. I was a single mom. I put the $99 on a credit card, but I will also tell you that you would still see me going through fast food restaurants for usually sometimes, mostly time breakfast, but always for lunch. So if I would have taken those $5, $6, $4, $3, $2 all month, I could have bought myself 3 or 4 products a month.
Right.
So it's like making those sacrifices and making this a priority. If you make it a priority, it will make you a priority. I think that will take away the not feeling genuine. Don't feel like you have to go all in all the time. You know what I mean?
Right. I enjoy
okay.
And I like the products.
Yeah. Well, that's the product, is that you're like, I love them so much, I want to take them. But it's okay. Like the cards you're being dealt right now, you just can't. But here's what's fun. That's going to be part of your story. Be honest with people. Guys, honestly, I can't afford everything I've fallen in love with. That's why I'm doing this. That is your story right there. That's your struggle. That's your calling it out, that you're going after something. That's why when you do and you make the post you make, you can put it out there and be like, thank you so much for all of you that are supporting me. I'm working so hard to be able to earn blah, 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 so I can hit blah, blah, blah goals. And then when you do, that's your victory to show everyone that also is in your position that wants the product but can't afford them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even something as simple as not being able to take products consistently is a story. I think sometimes people are maybe embarrassed or ashamed of their stories. And I think, nothing wrong with you. I think I used to be this way too. I think everyone here, we're so ashamed to tell the truth that no one knows what the truth is. So then we question, when we see on social media, we question what's real and what's fake.
Well, I think sometimes
right?
it's
Go ahead.
I think sometimes it's not that you, like, I'm not afraid to tell the truth, but it's like then you feel like people are feeling sorry for you because of your situation or because of something that's happened. It's like you don't want, just because you tell your story, you don't want someone to think you're telling it for pity. That makes sense.
It makes sense, but I'll also tell you those are just lies that you're believing. I mean, I know it doesn't make it easy to hear that, but what we tell ourselves is what we see as truth. I think you'll be surprised how many people will want to help you. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, this is not actually a good story. It's not like that made me feel warm. It's actually like, that's kind of ugly. I actually had more support when I was struggling in the beginning than I do now. So when the beginning, when I was kind of like, all right, guys, single mom, stressed out, this is why I'm doing this. I'm trying to earn some free product. I'm trying to make some money. I had people that wanted to help me hit those goals. Then when I grew and grew and grew and grew, now it's strangers that support me, but that's fine. I mean, like, I'm okay with that. So what I would tell you is people do want to help you. Now, does that mean everyone's going to help you? No. But I think you'd be surprised at who wants to help you.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up. If anyone has any questions, feel free to message me, but stay tuned in the Overcomers page. I'm going to actually go ahead and post it as soon as I get off here and make it. We are going to do a Tony Robbins recap. It will absolutely blow your ever-loving minds. It's insane. It's kind of scary how true it is, but all I have to say is the world needs to know this. And flat out, Tony, practically said that not everyone's going to be able to afford to do this. So pretty much what he does at his events is he puts it out there. He teaches us how to take it to people so that other people can get to know this. Because us as a society, we're all self-destructing without even knowing it. And so it is insane, the techniques, the tips he gave me, the information. So we will be doing that tomorrow evening. So love you guys. Let me know if you need me, and then we'll see you tomorrow. But make sure your teams know too.